Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. I feel like the season is upon us, a lot of people are getting married this time of the year, so we are no short of bridal drama, and you may have seen it because it was and it has been all over my FYP. This Aussie drama that's broke out regarding Jade, who is a bride to be. I think she's getting married in like 3 weeks at this point, and the Ivory Room bridal shop. There's been a bit of commotion that's gone on, and I'm going to guide you through it regarding alterations on a dress. Apparently the dress was like not the right size, it was way too big, even though Jade signed off on it. Jade is saying that Nicole, who is the owner of the bridal shop, is lying, and that actually that definitely was not the same dress and it didn't fit, etc, etc. Nicole is turning around and saying that actually no, Jade has lost significant amounts of centimeters and that's the reason why it didn't fit. And somewhere in the middle, there's got to be a bit of truth.
This is my contract. My bust, what we ordered, it should be 104 centimeters. I'm 106. So there's no centimeters there. If anything, it should be getting taken out.
We are still not at the bottom of it because it's still going on. I took the screenshot, but she has since gained a few thousand more followers from this. She came on TikTok about a week or so ago. She was absolutely distraught. She had spent upwards of 15k on a dress and basically it doesn't fit properly. She has emailed them, she's tried to contact them, and they basically turned around to her and were like, yeah, we're gonna have to do alterations on it. The alterations are gonna be about 4k, but we'll do the alterations on it, but essentially the dress is not going to be the same and it's not going to look that great.
If you are getting married in Sydney and looking for a wedding dress, do not go to the Ivory Room in Paddington. They have been a fucking nightmare. I spent almost $15,000 on my dream dress from there, and it has come and it is massive. I put the dress on. They're taking 4 centimeters from each of my sides. They're adding darts. They're saying that I have to have 10 centimeters altered around my waist. And even then, it's going to ruin the integrity of the dress and the way the dress looks because it's a beautiful beaded dress. I emailed them saying, giving them the benefit of the doubt, thinking, they're a business too. Maybe they were sent the wrong dress. Like, it's not their fault. And their reply was so fucking generic. Pretty much, that's just how it is and you have to alter it. The alterations is almost $4,000 and she's telling me it's still not going to look good. And I emailed them again saying that's not good enough. Like, you have to do something. You guys are in the wrong here. Like, this is insane. And I've had no response. I wrote an email saying, can you please respond by 5 o'clock Wednesday? Nothing. So my options are I buy another dress with money I do not have, or I try to attempt to alter a dress knowing it's still going to look shit on my wedding day. And the craziest part is I've had so many people say they've had the same experience there. And I don't understand how they get away with it. I'm 4 weeks out from my wedding. 4 weeks. I don't understand. I told them if they don't reply by 5 o'clock today that I will be taking this as far as I can, including taking it to court and being very vocal on social media, because this is a joke. And the fact that they get away with this because women have no other option before their wedding, it is disgusting. How anyone can run a business like this, like, I actually don't understand. A time that should be so nice and like I should be excited for is turning into something shit. The fucking dress is horrible. And I get it's just a dress. I get that. Like, some people aren't gonna get why this is so upsetting. But like, I have dreamed about getting married since I was little and I loved this dress. And now 4 weeks out to know that is going to look like shit.
I know a lot of people out there are going to be like, why the hell would you spend like 15k on a dress? I can imagine, like, if it's in your price bracket, then people are going to spend a lot of money on a dress. I think the main issue that Jade and a lot of other people were having was the fact that the alterations are going to cost 4k, and as we're going to learn in a minute, alterations basically like a necessity. They always do alterations on a dress.
Alterations are always required because a dress isn't made to your exact measurements. It's made to closest size, and it's only made over 3 areas, being bust, waist and hip. So alterations are always needed as standard.
So I'm just thinking, like, why not just charge that initially as a, you know, as a package to that dress that you've got, so that, you know, you're not then being hit with the additional 4K when we're going to find out in a minute that basically alterations are a necessity. They always happen. So either way, you're going to pay 15K and then get, you know, stubbed on the toe with another 4K. That doesn't make any sense to me, but I don't know a lot about wedding dresses. Having a little look on the Ivory Room's website, yeah, they don't make the dresses, they just import the dresses, send it off, the measurements to the designers, that then arrives, etc, etc. So they're essentially like a stock room for designer wedding dresses. I just thought I would clarify that, because a lot of people are getting very confused and think that they made the wedding dresses themselves. That is not the case. As you can imagine, following this, the people of TikTok are not very happy, and they were absolutely flooding the Ivory Room feeds everywhere, all over TikTok, saying, where is Jade's refund? Where's the refund? Justice for all the brides whose wedding planning became difficult because of this business. Bridal experience reimagined in like a traumatic way, the way you did with Jade. Now, as Jade did mention, allegedly this has happened to many other brides, and she has since clarified that she has actually been in contact with other brides this has happened to. This is in no way me just like kicking the business whilst it's down. I just thought I would add this different layer to it. But someone said, I'm going through the exact same thing with the Ivory Room. I cried for a week straight, ended up paying for the alterations because I didn't have time to argue with them anymore. It's honestly the worst customer service I've ever had. I won't get my dress back until next week, 2 weeks before my international wedding, hoping it looks good but have no other option. Now, just to clarify, both Nicole and Jade have actually put them in their drafts or whatever. They've like privated those videos, as she states up here, until they come to some sort of a agreement with what's going to go on from now. But of course, yeah, I had these videos saved like last week. The joys of being a content creator. Okay, so Nicole comes on because now all that we're aware is that Jade is going to be billed 4K, told that they can do the alterations, but it's not going to be the same and it's not going to look good, and she's very upset, and she is convinced that it's not the same dress. Now, Nicole comes on, and to give you the cliff note, all of this went down, the ordering of the dress, the measurements and all of that, 8 months prior. So that's November 2024. Okay, dress then comes into the bridal shop. The bridal shop then invites the client down, which is Jade, and have a glass of champagne, and they, you know, Jade will put on the dress and it will be a signing off thing, okay? And then I'm assuming the alterations can happen nearer to the time. Jade came in, tried on the dress, drank champagne. There was a notable size reduction, but she said that she was happy with the dress and she signed off on it. And then 4 weeks later, which is when Jade made her video, that was the very first that Nicole realized that there was an issue with this dress.
Jade came and did her pickup and she was happy with the dress. We popped her in it, we took photos of her in it, we remeasured her bust, waist and hip again, which showed a significant size reduction. But she signed off saying she was happy with the dress, took the dress, and it wasn't for another 4 weeks until we heard from her for the very first time that there was any concerns with the gown. We have been responding to her in regards to this, and our first point of contact was, of course, to speak to the designers, and we raised this query with them, and they assured us that the dress was ordered as per size on order in November 2024. We then looked through our own QC records, again, just to recheck to make sure we absolutely knew what we were saying was correct. And we can see that, yes, the dress arrived correct as ordered to the order in November 2024. We then had a look at her pickup form, which had her photos from pickup and measurements from pickup, which we can see quite a significant measurement fluctuation. We then relayed all this information to Jade and just let her know that unfortunately the dress has come as per order and that fluctuations in measurements are not a designer fault or an Ivory Room fault. It is something that the bride will just need to, you know, work through with her alterations. Alterations are always required because a dress isn't made to your exact measurements. It's made to closest size, and it's only made over 3 areas, being bust, waist and hip. So alterations are always needed as standard. And because of the measurement fluctuation, there are additional measurements. This is standard and expected, and we've offered to assist her through the process if she needs any help with the alterationist. We've offered to give her other alterationists to be able to go to if she wants a second opinion with that. And we're just really looking to support her in what is a really anxious and nervous time. It should be really exciting. In this instance, it's not a faulty dress, but we are still assisting her and doing absolutely everything we can. And it breaks my heart that she is feeling like this. I want nothing but the best for our brides, and sorry, I've put so much into this business, and I've put so much into this business and given it my blood, sweat and tears, and done everything I can right by my brides, always, often to the detriment of myself, to my family. We are a family-run business. We are a small business of 6 people. I'm so upset for her, but also for my family and my team. I have teamers getting death threats and abuse, and it is just absolutely not acceptable to be speaking to people like that.
It says alterations are needed as standard. Okay, now I said this prior. The issue that I'm having here, right, is that if you are aware that alterations are as standard, there's something that nearly always, if not always, needs to be done. If you're still charging 4,000, okay, on alterations, if you know that that is always going to be needed for the brides, why not be upfront with that at the very beginning? Because part of Jade's upsetness was the fact that she's going to have to spend an extra 4K that she doesn't really have because it's nearly her wedding day, or she's going to have to go find another dress. When the bridal room knew and know that actually, yeah, you always need to spend. Why? I get that obviously you're paying for time and work, and you are paying for the service for someone to do the alterations, but if you're upfront or you add it into the cost of the actual dress, that would make way more sense rather than just sort of going, oh yeah, by the way, I know you're going to get married in like a month, but that's another 4K. When you're getting married, 4K is such a large amount of money when you already don't have a lot of money because you've just spent a load of it on getting married. I think that is so unbelievably sneaky. I don't know if that's standard in the industry, whether or not they charge you for alterations. I've got no idea because, like I say, I've never got married, so I don't know. But all I'm trying to get at is that that is sneaky, and that should not be something that is an industry standard. Anyway, so Jade comes back and she is furious. She says that she actually had a conversation with Nicole, and now she feels like Nicole is manipulating her. And she brings up the sheet where in her bridal contract, she shows that there was not a significant difference in the centimeters. Clarifies and says that it's actually only half a centimeter has gone, and that it was not a significant decrease like Nicole was trying to say.
I've just seen Nicole's video, and I thought we had a really good conversation. I really thought we did, and I got to voice my concerns, and she said how she felt, and I said to her, like, I would never incite hatred towards you or asking people to, like, the fact that you're getting death threats, like, I'm sorry, I wouldn't do that. I was sharing my experience, and not just mine alone. So many of you have said they've had the same experience from there. I want to say that I have not lost all these centimeters she has, and I want to, again, this is my contract. My bust, what we ordered, it should be 104 centimeters. I'm 106. There's no centimeters there. If anything, it should be getting taken out. My waist is 81.5 and I'm measuring 81. So all I have lost is half a centimeter on my waist. And you guys have seen that dress. That is not half a centimeter more. On top of that, I found out after 2 people that I know very well went to the same place, had the same issues, spent thousands of dollars. I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt. And to be honest, I was going to delete the videos until I saw her post And it just made me so angry because you're lying. Up until last night at 5:30, after I posted, I didn't hear anything back from them. I emailed them saying, why haven't you responded? If you don't respond, I will take this as far as I can. I'll go to the ACCC. I will post on social media. I don't want to do this. But what you were saying is wrong. My measurements haven't changed. I have a stat deck from 2 seamstress with my measurements saying that is not what this is. I don't understand why she's lying. I feel bad for her. I don't, you know, I'm a business owner myself. I said this today. The difference is we deal with integrity, and the fact that she's just lied has just made it worse for me, actually. I truly thought we had a beautiful conversation, and I'm now realizing I think I was manipulated. I will prove. I'm going to get the stat deck uploaded to you guys, and I'm actually going to prove, and I'm going to film my measurements proving that this should fit me, because I will not be told that I'm a liar. That is going too far. The biggest thing about me is integrity, and the fact that you're saying that I'm a liar when I've got proof, now it's pissed me off.
Now, I believe that there is a miscommunication there somewhere. I don't believe that the Ivory Room are going to deliberately sabotage someone on their wedding day. Some people are fully siding with the Ivory Room, and they're saying that Jade has in fact lost a ton of centimeters, and that she has been documenting her journey with weight loss anyway, so people are drawing up those parallels. Other people are saying that it is absolutely ridiculous, and that they have in fact had the same issue with the Ivory Room. I'd like to think there is a miscommunication here somewhere. I do also think it is fairly peculiar why Jade signed off on it if she wasn't 100% happy with it. That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But then again, sneakily charging 4K for alterations when they know that it is pretty much as standard anyway, and that's not included in the price, and you're flinging that on brides just before they get married. I do think that is very, very, very manipulative, isn't the word. It's very cunning, right? It's very sneaky, right? It's extremely sneaky, because obviously a bride's going to want to look good on their wedding day, and it's going to need alterations. You're then just, you know, you're obviously going to pay to have it altered, aren't you? Because you want the dress to fit properly. I think that's extremely sneaky, and I think that bridal shops should be upfront with that, and that should not be a hidden fee. I don't know what I would do if I was suddenly hit with, oh, by the way, I need 4K to alter this. That would make me extremely sad, and I can understand why someone would get extremely upset over it. But all that is to say, my love, so Jade came on. So the videos have actually been archived. Hopefully today we will see what the outcome is. They're not agreeing to take down the videos, they're just archiving them, and then of course people have come along and reposted them anyway. But Jade says, after speaking with the Ivory Room, we've agreed to archive our posts and meet in person tomorrow, which is today, to hopefully reach a resolution. I want to be clear, my mention was never to tear down a business. I simply wanted to be heard and treated fairly. That said, I also stand by my experience and how deeply this situation has affected me in the lead up to my wedding. I truly appreciate every message, comment and show of support over the past few days. It has meant the world to me and reminded me of the power of speaking up, not just for myself, but for others who may not feel like they can. I'm hopeful for a positive outcome and will keep you updated. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. If you go and check Jade's TikTok, maybe there'll be something shortly after this video or before. I have no idea. Right, I have got a prediction that Nicole is going to drop the alteration fee, and that will be what will be happening. That is what my prediction is. You know, sending death threats to a business is obviously in no way, shape or form a good look, and I believe that's the reason why Jade took it down. As she says in a comment right here, apparently they were receiving death threats. People were a little bit suspicious, like, yeah, but did she show you proof? And Jade was like, no, I believe her, that kind of thing. Obviously sending death threats to a bridal shop when it's like, is just so extreme. You guys know, ridiculous. Like, come on, like we're adults. I mean, I hope we're all adults here, but come on now. TikTok can be a really rough place out there. But that's my prediction, that yeah, she's going to be scrapping her alteration fee, which should never exist in the very first place. I mean, if any of you guys know anything about dressmaking, dress adjustments, or bridal wear, if you know anything about what we've spoken about today in within any context whatsoever, please let me know down in the comment section. Do you think that it is a bit odd and a bit schemy to be charging people an additional 4K just before their wedding for an alteration that is pretty much a necessity? I think that's weird. I don't think that should be industry standard. That's just my own opinion. But yeah, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you really enjoyed it. I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I will catch up with you guys in the next video.